China's Supreme Court released this video, and it changed everything. The Menglong story that shook the internet. At precisely 9:07 p.m., when the digital world was already half asleep and half scrolling, an unassuming video appeared on an official-looking channel. No dramatic thumbnail, no explosive title, just a cold, formal caption that read, Judicial Transparency Briefing, Public Interest Case File Number 417. No one noticed it at first, but within minutes, everything changed. By the time viewers realized what and who the video was about, it was already too late. Screenshots flooded social media. Hashtags ignited like wildfire. Fans froze mid-breath. Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. And one name, long whispered, long avoided, long buried beneath rumors, returned with terrifying force. Menglong. A video that didn't feel like a video. The footage began without music. No narration. Just a wide, silent shot of a courtroom. Vast, immaculately clean, and chillingly empty. The camera didn't move at first. It lingered, as if daring viewers to look away. Then a voice spoke.
Calm.
Neutral. Judicial. This recording is released in accordance with public interest disclosure standards. That single sentence sent a chill through the internet. Because this wasn't entertainment. This wasn't gossip. This wasn't a variety show teaser. This was authority. And when the screen cut to a blurred timeline, marked with dates fans instantly recognized, years that coincided with Menglong's sudden disappearance from public life, the collective breath of millions stopped. The name that wasn't supposed to be said. For years, Menglong's name had existed in a strange limbo. Not officially cancelled. Not officially active. Not officially explained. His projects vanished quietly. Interviews stopped. Appearances were cancelled without reason. And whenever fans asked, answers came wrapped in vague phrases. Scheduling conflicts. Personal reasons. Temporary rest. But rest doesn't last this long. And silence doesn't echo this loudly. The video did not accuse. It did not dramatize. It simply presented records, documents sliding across the screen, names redacted, details partially obscured, but the structure unmistakable. And there it was. A line of text that detonated across social media like a bomb. Subject, YML. The moment the internet realized, this was different. Fans had seen rumors before. They had survived scandals, false reports, malicious edits, and viral lies. But this felt surgical. Calculated. Terrifyingly precise. The video shifted scenes, now showing a reconstruction room. A table. A chair. Evidence bags sealed in clear plastic. The camera never zoomed dramatically. Never emphasized anything. Which made it worse. Because when a system as powerful as the Supreme Court chooses restraint, it means the truth doesn't need embellishment. And then came the timestamp. A date that aligned perfectly with the last time Menglong had been seen publicly. That night, his fans remembered everything. The unfinished farewell post. The deleted photos. The staff members who quietly resigned. The brand partnerships that dissolved overnight. Suddenly, nothing felt random anymore. Why release this now? That was the question shaking the internet.
Why now?
Why after years of silence? Why release a video instead of a statement? Theories exploded. Some believed it was tied to a larger cleanup, an institutional reckoning long whispered about but never confirmed. Others claimed it was connected to unnamed figures whose shadows loomed far beyond the entertainment industry. But one detail in the video refused to be ignored. Near the end, a line appeared on screen. Delayed justice does not erase responsibility. That sentence alone spawned millions of posts. Because it wasn't about punishment. It was about acknowledgement. Fans break down, frame by frame. Within hours, fans dissected every second of the video. They adjusted brightness. They slowed the footage. They compared background layouts to known locations. And then came the moment that broke hearts. A still frame, barely visible, showed a handwritten note listed among evidence items. The writing was blurred, but the formatting looked eerily familiar to fans who had memorized Menglong's handwriting from letters, autographs, and old behind-the-scenes notes. Was it his? The video never said, which somehow made it louder than any confirmation ever could. The silence that followed was deafening. What shocked people most wasn't what happened after the video. It was what didn't. No immediate rebuttal. No frantic denials. No emergency press conferences. The industry went quiet. Too quiet. And when silence comes from places known for controlling narratives, it sends a message louder than outrage. Brands didn't speak. Former collaborators didn't post condolences. Media outlets treaded carefully, choosing words with surgical precision, as if everyone knew something and had known it for years. One scene fans can't forget. Near the video's conclusion, the camera returned to the courtroom. This time, a single chair stood beneath the judge's bench. Empty. The voice spoke again. This case is not about one individual alone. It is about systems, omissions, and the cost of silence. The camera faded to black. No closing logo. No call to action. No explanation. Just darkness. Why this video changed everything? Because it didn't shout. It didn't accuse. It didn't sensationalize. It documented. And in doing so, it cracked open years of carefully maintained ambiguity. For fans, it validated years of pain, confusion, and unanswered questions. For the industry, it sent a warning. For the public, it shattered the illusion that silence equals resolution. And for Menglong's name, long suspended between memory and mystery, it did something profound. It acknowledged that the story mattered. The aftermath, a reckoning still unfolding. Hashtags continue to trend. Think pieces continue to surface. Fans continue to mourn, not just a person but the version of reality they once believed in. The video didn't give closure, but it did something far more powerful. It forced the world to look. And once seen, some truths can never be unseen. If this story, fictional as it may be, resonates so deeply, perhaps it's because it touches a universal fear that truth can be buried, delayed, and silenced but never truly erased. And sometimes, all it takes to change everything is one quiet video, released at the right moment, by an authority that no one... When the video ended, the real shock began. The video had already gone dark. But the night was just beginning. Within seconds of the final frame fading to black, phones across the world vibrated at once, notifications stacking faster than fingers could swipe them away. It wasn't excitement. It was panic mixed with awe. The kind that settles in your chest when you realize you've just witnessed something irreversible. Because the video didn't close a chapter. It opened a wound. The first 10 minutes, chaos without words. For the first 10 minutes after the release, no one knew what to say. Live streams froze mid-sentence. Influencers stared at their screens, mouths open, forgetting they were being watched. Fan group chats, usually loud with emojis and jokes, fell into complete silence. Then someone typed, "They wouldn't release this if it wasn't already decided." That sentence spread faster than the video itself. Screenshots of a courtroom chair, the empty one beneath the bench, were circled in red, zoomed in, analyzed like sacred relics. Fans claimed the angle of the light meant something. Others said the chair placement mirrored a past internal disciplinary hearing template. Whether true or not didn't matter. People were no longer debating if something happened. They were asking how deep it went. The scene everyone replayed. There was one moment, just 2.4 seconds long, that viewers couldn't stop replaying. As the camera passed over the evidence table, a transparent folder reflected the overhead lights. In that reflection, some swore they saw a silhouette, someone standing behind the camera, watching. A human presence. Unidentified. Uncredited. Unacknowledged. It felt symbolic, like the system itself was staring back at the audience, reminding them, "You were never meant to see this." Midnight statements that said nothing. At exactly 12 a.m., several major entertainment agencies released statements. They were almost identical. Cold. Legal. Emotionless. "We have taken note of recent public materials. We await further clarification. We respect judicial processes." No mention of Menglong. No denial. No support. Fans noticed immediately. Silence had become choreography. Former colleagues began to vanish. Then something even stranger happened. Past interviews, once easily accessible, began disappearing. Clips where Menglong laughed backstage. Award show interactions. Casual behind-the-scenes moments fans had saved for years.
Gone.
As if someone somewhere was scrubbing history in real time. But the internet never forgets. Reuploads appeared within minutes, now framed with new captions. This hits differently now. Look at his eyes. Was this a cry for help? Moments once joyful were now painful, dissected under a lens of regret. The fans who refused to sleep. By dawn, candlelight vigils appeared, not in public squares, but online. Profile pictures turned black. Usernames added dates. Fan artists posted drawings of empty stages, abandoned microphones, a lone figure standing under a spotlight that never turned on. One illustration went viral, a courtroom bench towering over a single shadow, too small to fight back. The caption read, "He wasn't forgotten. He was buried." The sentence that changed the tone. Around 3 a.m., a legal scholar reposted a still from the video, highlighting a single line buried deep in the subtitles. Administrative inaction contributed to irreversible outcomes. That was when the mood shifted. This wasn't about scandal. This wasn't about reputation. This was about accountability. And suddenly, people weren't just asking what happened to Menglong. They were asking who allowed it. The courtroom chair returns. News outlets replayed the final shot endlessly. The empty chair beneath the bench. Analysts pointed out something chilling. The chair was positioned slightly off-center. Not aligned with the defendant's usual placement. Not aligned with the witness stand. It symbolized absence. A presence that should have been there, but wasn't. Fans began calling it the missing seat. A reminder of someone who never got to sit, speak, or defend himself. When the industry finally felt fear. By morning, one thing was clear. This video hadn't targeted a person. It had exposed a structure. And structures don't apologize, they collapse. Insiders whispered about internal audits. About sealed meetings. About names that had once been untouchable, now suddenly being avoided. The fear wasn't loud. It was cautious. Controlled. The kind of fear that knows the ground has shifted, but doesn't know where it will crack next. The final realization. As the sun rose, fans realized something devastating. The video didn't ask for sympathy. It didn't ask for forgiveness. It asked for memory. And memory, once awakened, is dangerous. Because you can silence a voice. You can erase appearances. You can delay truth. But when the record speaks, even quietly, it echoes forever. And somewhere between that empty courtroom chair and the millions of eyes watching, one truth became impossible to ignore. This story was never over. It was only waiting to be seen.